Welcome back, everybody. So this is the fourth week of JavaScript lesson or training or whatsoever we name it. Week 4. So what we do today, revision of the previous lesson. So if you didn't understand a function very well, it doesn't matter. We revise today. Conditions, loops, functions. This is the revision part. And then we talk about objects. And then higher order functions, then a day, I think it's about date object, and then sets and map, destructuring and spreading. So let's go to VS Code and open that project. We may go to, this is our, I think this is what I was talking about, guys. Yeah, it has to be structured somehow. If I do this, it would have been much. It's the markdown. Markdown is very good language, so it can help you too. Yeah, so let's do some conditions revision, guys. Revision is good. Revision of condition function and the loop. Yes. Okay, great. So I think it's better if we start from condition. Oh, I think it is JavaScript in here. So guys, conditions is related to decision making. How do you write decision? I forgot. This is, who cares? Decision making. So you show up today, right? Here for the lesson? Yes, you did. Do you think you made a decision?
Yes.
Yeah, that is based on what? Some condition. Based on some condition. And what did you use as a condition?
Time is it?
Time, yes. Yeah, this is the big picture of conditional statements. And for instance, let a is equal to 5, right? So what do we have? What do we store at a? 5. Then we can just go for if condition to write an if condition. What you need is the if, it's a reserved word, and you should have a condition here. And then if this condition is true, this block of code will run. This block of code will be happy to run. So how do we make this condition? So we can make condition most of the time by comparison, actually. So these comparisons, if you compare something, for instance, in your case, okay, wait, let, when time, okay, time is 17. Then if time is equal to 17, go to the Java console to attend lesson. Let's, by the way, I have to connect this to the other file. I want to select this long name, so this is how I select it. Where is the index file? It's here. Script, and then source. I don't need this one, so I take it to the commented section. Now I have to run this, right? No, it is fine. Is it previewing it on there? But that's not what really I want. Do you have this problem, the live server hiding, and do you have any solution? How are you?
No, it works fine with me.
I think maybe you have to go to the extension again and check the live server.
Sometimes if the file is new, I have to right click on the index directly and do live server.
Yes, I
Otherwise
think my live server is not for some reason.
Yeah.
It's uninstalled.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I use sometimes I reset my VS Code for teaching purpose, and I get some kind of new everything again. Yeah. So in that case, I lose some of my settings. Now I think at least I can see it at the bottom. Yeah, I can see it also here. Great. So live server is here, and I think it's better to move it to the other side and this to the left side. And what's all this? Control Shift I will open this for me, and let's see what we have. Attend a lesson. Yes, attend. Guys, do you know where this coming from? Sometimes, it's easy to debug if you know how your files are working. This is coming from this file, revision condition function loops.js file at line 8, coming from here. Yeah. Great. So now, because it's 17 or 5, you showed up. But if this not, you will be somewhere else. So you made actually a decision you made because you show up. So now let's just do let a is equal to 5 if why is it's not a is equal, oh I think it's because of the bubble. Yeah, I need the highlighter. So let's do, if a is greater than 0, we say console.log a. But it doesn't make sense that, right? Let's say positive. Yeah, it's positive. Great. How about if it's 0? It doesn't say anything. Yeah. So we have to have a kind of else. So what else if something not happen? Or what if? So console.log not positive. Yeah, not positive is showing up. But how about if this is -2? Not positive, it makes sense, but actually we have also else if, and we can actually handle when it's 0, and we will have console.log, and this is 0, maybe. And we can also add else if a is less than 0, we can say console.log, this is negative. As you can see, this negative. Else, then I think, so we don't know about that. Unknown. Now if it's -2, now it's negative. That's true. If I change this to 2, it should be positive. If I change this to maybe 0, it should say 0. Yeah, this is condition. So what we see actually, if you have just only this, it's just an if. And if you need, if your condition is just only 1, but most of the time we have, or if you just want to have if and else, you just have something like this. And last time we also changed this to a switch case, if you remember. For instance, let is raining. It's a kind of in my place now. True. If is raining, console. No, don't do that. Console.log. Take your umbrella. Yes. Take your umbrella. Why I am not comparing here, guys? I just passed just the variable here. Why I didn't compare with like this? Why I didn't do this, guys?
Since it's already assigned to the variable, we don't need to compare it, right?
Yes. If you do something like this, it's okay. It's okay, but people know that you're a beginner programmer. Okay? For instance, if you write deliberately something like this, I can identify that you are not yet, but still it's okay. There are some things or parameters you may identify if someone is just someone's level of programming. So because as he said, this usually is carrying a Boolean value. So we can just use this Boolean value. The comparison by the end actually just give us a Boolean value. So we don't have to compare the same thing. Yeah, we don't compare the same thing. Okay, great. Then else console.log is just a shiny day. Go out freely and enjoy your day. Oh yeah, great. Not in Espo. Anyway, but it's going to happen soon. So now if we change false, it is just a shiny day. Go out freely and enjoy your day. But you know, last time we agreed that weather condition is not just raining or something. We can change this to a weather actually. Weather, and we can change this to, instead of a Boolean, let's just say rainy. Now we should really compare it because the weather data, if it's rainy, Now we have to compare it because the weather, the value here, the value we add may change at different time. And also, as you can see, it's not just also a Boolean. Of course, we will talk about strings are considered as already a truthy value. We will talk about truthy and falsy value today, actually, not later than today. Okay, but anyway, now as you can see, take your umbrella, as you said. How about if it is sunny? It is just a shiny day. Go out freely, enjoy your day. Yes, but I think the weather might be, it could be cloudy. So what you should do actually, you just copy this and else if, and then put. How about if it's cloudy? Console.log is just cloudy and a high probability of rain. Yes. And maybe else if maybe what else? What's the weather conditions? Can you add some weather conditions for me here?
Windy.
Windy, yes. Console.log is very windy. Take care of yourself. You might be taken away. Yes, Helsinki's winds like that sometimes. It may take people. Yes. Haven't you seen when a wind take someone? Yes, I did. Okay, what else? Guys, tell me. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I didn't see. What else? Maybe snowy. Someone told me last time that console.log just full of snow. Yeah, so as you can see, how many if, else if, can you add as many if you have? So you can put them here and it go top to bottom, top to, what's happening here? It go from top to bottom. So first it checks this condition and then this condition and this condition. If one of the condition pass, it doesn't go down, okay? So that's how it goes. Yeah, actually I was showing the previous example, but it's the same. Okay, now last time, if you remember, instead we used from what was this prompt, and then enter the weather, and then this give me, okay, the weather today rainy. Take your umbrella. The weather today is sunny. Just a shiny day. Go out freely, enjoy your day. Something like that. And if you remember last time, for instance, if someone write like this and this, it may say, it's just shiny. How? It's just it's just by, because have you seen? Yeah. We have here unknown weather. No one knows about the weather. Okay. If I do something like this, no one knows about the weather, but we have to also handle this just by adding just here to lowercase b to lowercase. Now anything you add right here actually changes to, now this will be lowered to lowercase, it will be very similar to, or it will be the same as. Where is the Sunny? I don't see this Sunny. Oh, okay. Anyway, okay. Copy. I have removed the Sunny section. Yeah, this should be in here. Else if weather sunny. Yeah, this extra, and I should keep also this again too. Uppercase. Yeah, I think you got the idea. So I may make this smaller and maybe this much bigger. Yeah. So this is what we will produce, the same thing. Another tip, but do you have any question about this one?
No.
Yes.
Nope.
So if you want to change this, yeah, if you want to change this as a function, guys, it's so easy. Function, give me some name, put it there. We encapsulated the code we wrote. So, but we didn't come up with a very good name yet. So I just wrote XYZ or just some funny name. So I can call this give me a very good name for this function.
Get weather input.
You get weather input. No, because the output is a bit different. Get weather condition. Because, or yeah, I would say at the end you just get that it is just a shiny day and something. Get this is you are getting the input, and then after you process at the end. But now you are not returning anything, so you should return also. Last time someone asked me about a breaking in something also. Yes, now I will show you maybe what you should write. Let's result, maybe just put it like this, and then every block I may just remove this, and result will be this. The function that doesn't return, it is just, again, not a very good function, but there are cases. You don't have to return all the time, especially when you are using third. Why I'm returning. Of course, I can return from that. Do you think is it too much repetition of writing result? Is there any way I can avoid that? No, there is no. There are. So you return at the end result. And this function will work, and we can function check number. I call it, it's a positive. Now this, and then even now Julie asked me if it, for instance, I can just create this number like this, but if I pass it like this, and instead now I can remove this, and it will be n, and and then again let the result. That's a very good name. Here result is going to be positive, and here result going to be negative, and here no, 0. Everybody was silent when I was just, maybe no one is negative. And I destroyed one bracket. And here the result is going to be not a number, maybe. And then you return the result again. My linter is not working for some reason. I don't know. Okay, now have you seen now this, what do you call it? This, the console is clean. Why? The console is so clean because our functions are not called. So now the functions, they just work when they are called. They don't just, shout, or I don't know. I don't have any better word to check number. For instance, 1. Of course, I have to print this value. Oh no, console.log. Positive, yes, it was a positive. Okay, how about -1? Negative, okay. How about 0? Yeah, so as you can see, now let's also see this get weather condition. Get weather condition. This takes value. Now, of course, I have to print out console.log. I have to run it again. Sunny. As you can see, it is just a shiny day. Go out freely, enjoy your day. I think at the meantime, we also managed to practice how we just change it to a function. But if you don't want to get also this from the user input, what you can do, weather. Okay, now weather, then actually the weather will be I think I can change it to uppercase. Weather.
We don't need to initialize the weather, right? Or we don't need to assign it?
But we have to modify it a bit to upper to lowercase.
Okay.
What does this say, guys? So what do? You have to come and read here because it's so clear. Unquote type error. Cannot read property to uppercase of undefined. So it was a kind of undefined here. The reason why I didn't pass anything here, sunny. That's why. Have you seen now? It's just shiny day. How about if I write it also like the fancy way? Some fancy person might write it like this, It's just a shiny day. Go out freely. Enjoy your day. So now instead of the prompt, I also managed to like this. So you can just pass different snowy.
I think you have to change to lowercase, right? Not to uppercase.
Is that uppercase to uppercase? Oh, it should be to lowercase. Of course, to 1 2 lower.
Do what's it called?
Yes. Now for this case, because since I make this 2 lower, it should be 2 lowercase. But if you made this to uppercase, you can also change this to uppercase. But most of the time, lowercase is very easy to write, right here. Ready? Yes, so to lowercase. Great. It's just a shiny day. Actually, we wrote that 2 times. We need this to just full of snow. Great. Do you have any question about, but I think we trapped by a function before I was trying to show you to a switch function before the break. I will show you how we would change this to a switch. Do you remember? This is what you need,
Yep.
switch. And then this is what you need. And then your condition here. Hey, condition, come on, here. And then after that, the cases, case 1, case 2, something. So in our case, the cases are actually rainy, okay. And then maybe the other case. And of course, you have to say break every time, break. And then you have all the cases. So for me, I think what is easy to do is just converting this, but it's hard for you to follow. So let's just do it step by step. Case. What was the other? Rainy, sunny, and then break. What was the other case?
Snowy.
And then break. And case. Oh, hard to remember. Snows, windy and cloudy. It doesn't matter the order, okay, guys? So now I can also do the same thing, this. And also here we have let. Okay, I think that in this case we can just, yeah, someone asked me about the break thing here. Instead, actually, you can avoid break and do the return. Return this value. Yeah.
Yep.
Because a return actually acts as a break. Once if you write return, your code never goes down after that. So we can use this as like this very big point, guys. Some people do not, or it takes them for ages to know this. Really, this also I will show you about the function here. For instance, we wrote at the end return result. The reason why we wrote return at the end because there is no other code after return. And if you write after this, I don't know what you plan to do actually. Return means you finalize everything and you want to store it, maybe literally save it to your variable. The variable is actually this, the name of the function acts like a variable. Okay, great. Come back to here. So we have to just copy everything we have here. For instance, this is the cloudy section. We go to the cloudy, yes, instead of return again, we put it there, and else part, the else, so we don't have the default, and we return this. What else left? Windy. And snowy. Cloudy too. I think no. Now we're left with the sunny section, and it was somewhere around here. Great, this is how it looks like when you change it, the same thing you have here, but we're left with this part. If you remember, the way we wrote was let weather. It was something like this, prompt, and enter weather. Yeah, to lowercase. Maybe we don't do that. We don't need this. You don't say condition here. That we just pass the weather, and the weather actually is the value we get, and it will be checked like this. Is this value rainy? Is this value sunny? Is this value snowy? So it will be checked every. So what is this? Now, as you can see, there is an illegal return statement, 51. Let's go. 51. How? Really? How? Oh. So what do you do? So let's go to Stack Overflow. That's the in your code. For some reason, it restricts me to do that. So, but
I think it's because the switch condition is not inside the function. It's just a switch.
oh yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes. There are such kind of savers all the time in my class. I thought I already encapsulate these two function x, y, z example screwed me. So let's just encapsulate this here. As he said, now, yeah, it should start working, but that this is not our function. Let's turn this function off by commenting them out. Now let's call our new function, console.log xyz example function. Yeah, guys, don't give such kind of function name unless, I don't know, okay? Don't ask me why I gave this. Yeah, it's just a shiny day. Go out freely and enjoy your day. So this one is actually the switch, this gate weather condition. I can call it gate weather condition because I may forget. And then maybe two, because we have, or I can call it with a switch, but since it's an example, it's just okay to give it two. Yeah. Now I am left with ternary. Ternary, guys. Ternary means three things. X.
Having a question.
Yeah.
Is there any special circumstance that we are forced to choose switch case instead of if or that the first conditional statement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are cases that might be a switch might be better than if For instance, if the condition, this condition is really too long, this is easy to read. Switch is easy to read. Another condition, the condition I told you, for instance, if I ask you let me tell you this case, what is similar to rainy, showery? I don't know, but I'm just creating a new word now. Okay, it's what do you call it when it's some small amount of rain?
Small amount of rain.
Yeah, when it's raining, and if it's not really raining, but it's kind of
Dripping.
Dripping. Yeah, kind of. So those is also an for is. Have you seen now? Actually, if I call the console print get weather 2. Now, if I just write, which one is coming? We don't need data from that. Let's change it here. We get condition or weather from here, and actually we're changing it to weather. And since it's declared over there, we don't do that. Okay, now it's not going to happen that. I have to call it dripping. Take your umbrella. And how about if I give for showery? Take your umbrella. So whenever you have some kind of conditions, you don't have to use break or return, but you write them one after another. And it's easy to solve that kind of a problem. This, if you do this with the if condition, you have to say or this or that, so you can avoid that kind of logical operators like or compound statements by just writing different cases one after another. And these cases, for instance, the 3 cases, they have something in common. This for this, the sun, you can also give the same thing. So there are cases in which the switch case is much better than the if else. Great. I think okay, I was about to talk ternary. Ternary, as I understand it, it means just three things: X, Y, Z. Yeah. So usually X, hey, how are you, X? Then you say something here, Y, and then again Z. The thing is, actually there should be some condition because of the X condition. If the X condition is a true Z condition or true, the value will be here. For instance, true, true is all the time true value, right? Why I'm making a typo, true, and I am always true. I am always false. And now I can even store this value. Just let value is equal to, I'm like evaluate. If this is true, the value of the value next to the question mark will be stored. If this is false, the value that's far from true will be stored. In this case, which is going to be stored? Tell me. What is the value here?
I'm always true.
Yeah, the value should be I'm always true. but most of the time, last time, if you remember, just we checked names. Okay, let's see. Let name is equal to Asabena, the longest name ever given to a human being. Okay, name dot length greater than. Okay, how much is it? 1, 2, just if it's 5 already, it's a long name. Okay, thank you. In my category, so long name, the other will be short name. As you can see, name has been checked here. So first I check, is this name greater than 5? Of course, yes, it's true, so long name. Now let's change this to maybe Yobi or Yop, short name, because it's just 4. So you can use this ternary operator sometimes just to make your code look great and elegant. So this is very powerful in React also. I think it's a good time to have a break, 15 minutes of break. So far we are doing the revision, and we will have a quick revision of loops, and maybe also a kind of recap again functions from the scratch. Yeah, because this should be well understood to go further. Okay, 15 minutes break. Let's have a break. Welcome back. So we stopped here talking about ternary operator. By the way, ternary operator is another or an alternative way of writing if else. Okay, if this is true, go for this one, else for the other after the colon. The true condition, we go for this, that's next to the question mark, and if it is false, we go for the expression next to the colon. Yeah. Now let's talk about loops, guys. So most of the things we do are repetitive, so we need to have a way to handle repetitive tasks. For instance, if I ask you to generate 0 to 1,000, now you may use a for loop or something. Guys, whenever you are using loops, try to use some kind of commenting. This is how you write for loop, guys. Yeah, you need the for keyword, and then you need this parenthesis, and then a curly bracket. Here you may have initialization, condition, and then increment or decrement. Yeah, now let's do just increment. If I want you to write from 0 to 100, what's that? To 100, what's the initial value here? 0, right? Yeah, 0. So you change this to let I is equal to 0. And what will be your final destination? It will be like 100, right?
Yes.
So we change this I less than as far as that means I is less than 101, or I is less than or equal to 100. We want to increment every time plus plus, and then actually console.log I. Now let's see, by removing the comment out, let's see what we get. Oh, sorry guys, I just forgot to put this instead. Yeah, as you can see, I managed to print out from 0 to 100. As you can see. Do we have to start from 0 all the time, guys? I want to know.
No?
No, you don't have to. You may start from 1. You may start from 10 if you want. If your plan is just maybe from 10 to 50, you can just go up to 50, 10 to 50. Yeah. Or do you have to increment by just 1? No, you can increment actually I plus 2, for instance. For instance, if I'm interested to generate, for instance, let's say generate, at the meantime, let's learn a function, generate even nums. And then this will take, I just take this one here. It should start from 0 and it should increment by 2 every time. And this should be for the time being up to 100. Now let's call our function. Generate a mic. Let's mute people. Okay, great. So as you can see, but now let's even modify it. Then const evens, and then we can store them in an array. So I can just say evens dot push every time those numbers. And I have to return the evens. Nothing is happening because I have to print this out. As you can see, all the even numbers from 0 to 10. Julian asked me sometimes, I don't know if I have to pass a parameter or not for my function. I don't know. For instance, as I told you, this is a dumb function. It generates from 0 to 100 all the time. So it's not something you can deal with. You want maybe just 5 or 10 of them. So if we just say this, actually n, and then instead here, actually n, now I can just, the first 10 even numbers. Have you seen? The first 100 even numbers. The first 1,000 even numbers. Have you seen the power of parameters now?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. So you can, but a function without parameter, as I said it is just generate. Sometimes I made a typo. Now it's even becoming like kind of a hobby, but it doesn't matter. I think you know what it means. Okay, great. So now we did a for loop, but you should know also how to reverse. How to do this in a reverse order. Let's do this commenting out now again. Yeah, for instance, if we want to reverse, yeah, that means I'm asking you to write from 0 to, from 100 to 0. Maybe 100 is too far. Let's just start from 5 to 0 the other way. So our initial point will be 5. And we go up to 0, right? So the condition will change. So I should be greater than or equal to 0. And all the time, instead of increment now, we do the decrement because we are coming from bigger to smaller. So we have to reduce or remove some amount of number every time for every iteration, right? So we don't need this. Console.log, and then I. you know that the reason why I'm commenting out, because I don't like to end up to an infinite loop. And as you can see now,
I think
5.
you can change your live server also, so it doesn't always update. So it only updates when it saves, and it only saves when you first go to the window. You can change that in the options. I found the same thing with the loops, that I had issues with infinite loops.
How did you
When
do?
I think I did it in the settings. I can Google it for you if you want.
What did you do?
So I changed in the settings. You can change when it actually saves. So you can either have it save all the time, or then you can have it save once you leave the window, once you
Yeah.
leave the
Okay, let's
editor.
change that maybe. Autosave, just the
On window change. I think that was maybe, try that one.
yeah, that could be,
So then you don't get stuck in infinite loops anymore.
yes. Great. So as you can see now, we managed to print from 5 to 0. So now let's do, for instance, a function reverse array. Reverse array function. This function, you pass an array and it reverse actually. Okay, what does that mean? I may give you this function, maybe like 2, 5, 6, 8, 0. And then your function should give me 0, 7, 6, 5, 5, and 2. It reverse. Yeah, as you can see, it's now in reverse order. Okay, so let's make use of this by putting, and of course we may have, but where is the coming? For instance, you may put this, I can put this, okay, copy, let array, this is our array for the time being, and then okay, now this will be array dot length. And yeah, actually this is what we do. And then let's do console.log array that. And now let's call reverse array. When is it the saving happen?
I think it already updated, but now you also console.logged every row. You didn't put it in you didn't push it to an array or anything.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So if you wanted to put it like push it to a,
yes, thank you. So now let new array, or maybe just it's a common way to write like this, new array. And now let's push this value to, as you can see, it's already reversed here, as you can see, yeah, because it's coming from 0 the other way instead of 2. So for sure it's working already. What we can do, new array dot push that value, and then we have to return our new array because it has new values there. Yeah,
and then you console.log it.
now since we have to do the console because that's the only way you can print out. Undefined, we got some undefined value. The reason why, because it should be -1 actually. We can't have you seen now? 07652. But now this function, as Julian said, this is very dumb function. Again, we prefer to pass the array as in a parameter we don't need here, and it's coming from the, have you seen? It's just coming from the parameter. So now something this has to be passed instead here. Yeah, great. Now the other functions, what we learned is actually while, do while, and break, and then we don't have to go to everything in that case. We will not have really much time. And I want to ask, is there anyone who doesn't understand how to declare function? Please just tell me honestly, who does not know how to declare a function? And do you have any kind of problem to create a function or to declare or to make a function?
No, not to create. If there is like a certain like indication, some kind of instructions. If I have to think about something just by myself, then yes. Like on a blank sheet or something, but yeah. Following instructions, then with the function, it's kind of okay.
Okay. Let's do maybe I think a recap of the functions also again. And functions, now we are revising function all over again. To declare a function, you need to have the keyword function like this, followed by name of function and followed by parentheses. This is just a function by itself, and it should return. I mean, it's not all the time, but if a function is not returning, the return value is undefined anyway, but it does something. So this is a simple function. So what does this function return, guys? Tell me.
This is a simple function.
Yeah. So what kind of data type is it returning?
A string.
Great. And does it change this value? Is it going to return all the time this, or does it also give some different output?
In this case, only that.
It display the same thing all the time, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Again, we figured out that not having an argument is, but if it's just some string, some like, or text, then we can just return the text here, as you can see. Then when we call the text will change. Where are we? Oh, I destroyed the function for some reason. The text will change. So that's the power of parameter. So we turn. Now even this one, it doesn't care. It just take any kind of, it could be Boolean. You never know what this function is going to return. Do we know? Of course, maybe I can just call it param. It's just param. And then you don't know, you never know what. If I gave it 100, it will return 100. I didn't like this. I didn't like this. It's like,
yeah, I think I have it on focus change, but I think it's like you have to change the window every time for it to work.
okay, yeah. No, I'm not going to write much of, I'm a bit too fast and it's like my heart is almost stopping. Here it's too slow for me. Okay, yes. Okay, great. Now as you can see, 100. And now if you just change this to a string, or some string, it's just, yeah, that's the problem of somehow JavaScript. And now I think there's this TypeScript, so you can also predefine the type in advance. Now, as you can see, this function is like returning any kind, even you don't know what's going to return. But this TypeScript, it allows you to predefine the type that is going to be returned. For like C, C++, Java, C#, all those languages, they are already, they do have these predefined data types. Okay, but the point is here now, we can, for instance, say this print full name. Yeah, so it should take first name, right? First name, last name. Yeah, and then it should return someone's name. First name, last, and some space, last name. Yeah, function is as easy as this, to be honest. And then it expects two parameters. Have you seen it's crying? It's crying, I don't know, reference error. Yeah, it says where? 113. 113 here. I think also there should be an error also. 112.
Did you remove this, the function name of function? You changed that to print name.
Okay.
Print full name.
Print full name, but it shouldn't be only, yeah, it still gave us actually with undefined values, yeah, but let's pass here a submine and then a type, and then as you can see, it gave just a kind of full name, and our famous person, Donald J. Trump. Everybody knows him. Great. So this is a very, have you seen how easy to write a function? You just pass parameters and then you just return them. And this is a function declaration. We can write this function differently. Yes, do you remember function expression, for instance? You just remove this and change this to const, and then equal sign here, function, and now this is what you need. No more change. And we call this function expression function. So, and again, if you want to write this in a row function, a row, since we don't need this, you just need only a row, something like this. Yeah, you can keep it like this, but if you want to even want to make it more explicit, and like you may see, because there's nothing much inside, so you remove this and you return it explicitly like this. This is still a function.
This is the arrow function.
Yes, this is a row function. This is a row function because, as you can see, when there's another row, it behaves the same, but there is a minor difference between a row function and other functions. I will talk about those kind of delicate stuff after you grip the basic concept, but we will come to that. So shall we start today's lesson, or do you have still some problem with the previous, or shall we solve some problem? What do you prefer?
For me, it's good to go on.
Yep, save me.
Okay, so maybe I can, let's do some simple function, okay? Calculate the weight of a body. The weight of a body or an object on any planet or whatsoever, or any solar, or okay, okay. So the name of the function, calculate weight. Yeah, I will give you 3 minutes to think and to do this. It returns the weight object as string. Example, 700 Newton. Gravity offers 9.81, something like that. Formula of weight, mass times gravity. Yes, I have seen some people sent me a solution. Yes, very good, but still you can make it even a bit better by considering the gravity. Yes, that's very elegant. Yes, I like the arrow function. Arrow function is so beautiful. Yeah, I'm just looking at some people sent me privately some answer. The reason why they sent it privately is just you may stop work if you see their solution. You may stop working. That's the reason why they sent it privately. Is that the reason, guys? Yes. Yeah, I think if you send me the solution, actually, that would be a very clear thing how much you understood. Yes. Yeah, this is very kind of what is this? A measurement or a kind of a hint that helped me how much you understood the lesson we covered so far. So send me privately, and that would be nice. But remember, you guys, you should really read the instructions. For me, it's okay. It says that calculate. Two guys answer. You guys, two guys, for instance, privately sent me, and they didn't see the instruction properly. It says calculate the weight of an object on any planet. Calculate weight. This is the name of the function. It returns the weight of the object as a string. Example, 700 Newton. Given gravity of Earth, I think the Earth is all the time capital, 9.8. And formula of weight, mass times gravity. So guys, I want you to modify it a bit. And even I want you to be two decimal, like for instance, 5. Two significant digit. For instance, if it is this like this, it's hard to read, right? So you make it somehow shorter. I think we should do this more often because everybody's just quiet. Okay, I received one now. Okay, good one, but still it can be improved. Okay, it seems it's enough. Let's start and let's do it together. You know that you just, the simple thing you do, just followed by the name, calculate, weight, and then do we need any parameter? Yes, because the formula goes like this. It needs, so these are parameters. Weight, okay, just forget about this. To calculate weight, the weight depends on mass and the gravity, or maybe if you are talking about density of the density of something, density mass over volume, right? This density depends on mass and volume, so these guys are going to be parameter of a function also. If you are, so in our case here, the parameters are mass and gravity, so we can just mass, hey, gravity, great. And then what? Weight, you can just keep it, just let weight is equal to mass times gravity. This is what you need. And then I told you that it's the gravity of Earth, 9.8, so we can check it with that. Console.log calculate weight, and then the mass, I can take mine, and 9.8, what was it, 9.81. So we have to return something from here, the weight. It doesn't take much. Let's just try to weight. As you can see, it's 7 something, but sometimes you may not get, for instance, maybe if I am 4 or 5, you may get something like this, yeah, this value. if you do this far, it's good enough. Now, but I'm in favor of some kind of this, the arrow function, and I just like to change it to an arrow function. It's elegant for me. Yeah, so something like this. But it doesn't matter if you use arrow function or function expression or function declaration. And even if you don't want also, you can just return it right away like this. Even you can make it shorter. And even you can make it even a one-liner because you don't have much to calculate. Mass gravity, you multiply. But I told you I want this to be, maybe I can just do this. And then Newton. But it's not even yet. And now maybe to fix it, the 2-digit. Yes, now this is the problem, as you can see, because now since I'm doing some operation, I have to get back to the long way. So the reason why, let wait. First, I have to calculate this value. And then the weight has to be fixed to return this. Yeah, as you can see now, I got a kind of, yeah, this is what I was trying. If you have more than one line, you can't change it to, or you can't return it explicitly, okay? I can't make it shorter than this. So my function looks like this, but you know, this function, for instance, I can even make it, because most of you guys, do you have a plan to go to other planets? Most of us do not have, so I can just put it 9.8 as a default, and I don't have to even write it like that, so it will calculate. But maybe you may have moon gravity. What is the moon gravity? I think it's 1.625. Let's give it here, 1.62. Yeah, 1.62. And let's see the value. Now, the weight, my weight on the moon is 1.22.23 Newton. Even if you want to make it even, you can just to one significant digit. This is just a method. I didn't teach you, but just now I show you. What do you think? Was it easy? Did you learn something from this?
Yes.
Yes. The one question.
Yes.
In this case, the first time mass, gravity, and you have already written it 9.81, but the moon gravity has changed 1.62. So it doesn't it matter?
Yeah.
That the first 9.81.
Yes. So if you don't pass anything as a second value, it takes the Earth 9.8. So that means now this one is for Earth. Yes. So the reason why I made it Earth as a default. Why? If you answer this, you will know why I made it default for Earth.
Yes.
But
so
why?
that is the default. If you want to change mass.
Why we chose the Earth to be a default?
Because we live on planet Earth.
Yes, because we live on planet Earth, and most of we use, like, we calculate on Earth. We rarely move to the other planets. So whenever you develop some applications, and if you have a tendency to use it quite often, you may just may, and if it's constant, you just make it a default, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. For instance, pi. Okay, if I just tell you now, I think it's a very good exercise again. Now, the same thing, I will ask you, calculate the area of a circle. The area of a circle can be as area is equal to pi times r times r. The name of this, the name of the function is going to be area of, or calculate area of circle. Yeah, here you go. And it returns again, and it returns a string. I'm telling you, it's a string, and it's something 180 meter square. I can't make this square, okay? But imagine this is like superscript square meter, or meter square meter, yes. I give you 2 minutes. Julia, or someone, I saw your answer. That's very good, but remember that the pi will never change in any way. Gravity changes from one planetary bodies or whatever, from planet Earth to some other body. It changes. For instance, on planet Earth, the gravity is 9.8. Somewhere it's different, so it changes. But when it comes to pi, it will never change. So you have to consider that.
Yeah, I put the value as equal there. Should I put maybe an area that is to fix that one?
Yes, or 2 or 3, depends on how much you want, how much significant value you want.
Okay.
The same goes for Amha. I think now you just, some of the guys, you just copy this, but now a bit different. We don't really change. Yes. Oliver, that's good. Yes, Nina, very good. I think it's enough time. Let's come back. Yes, what do you prefer? A raw function, function declaration, or what? So I prefer a raw function area, or I think this already calculate area of a circle. It's a bit calc. I can just make it a bit shorter. Calculate area of a circle, something like this. And then what I need is just only radius. Yeah, so if this R is confusing, so it's good to make it radius because it's not really long. So area can be calculated as mat dot pi, right? And then radius can be calculated as radius like this. And then you return, maybe it depends if you want this, the area of the circle. Circle with radius is area dot 2 fixed, maybe 2 is good, 2 significant digits, square meter. I know it's outside square meter. Yeah, so let's try this function console.log area, calculate the area of a circle, and if we give it 100, it may give us, as you can see, the area of a circle with 100 radius, 100 radius. Meter radius. Yes. The area of the circle, or a circle with 100 meter radius, is this number square meter. Yeah. Or you can return this. By now you should know this string interpolation, right? You just use this backtick to make the string, and you inject your variables, your data to the string. That's so beautiful.
Sabina, when we use the built-in module like mat.py, we don't need to import it in this case?
No,
Maybe.
it is available here. Did we talk about this thing, guys, before?
I didn't know about it, but
Okay, so maybe I think it's good to also talk about. There are some global objects in JavaScript, global objects. And these global objects, we just access them. Do you remember built-in functions?
Yeah.
yeah.
But these are not functions, they are objects. These objects, they do have methods or attributes. This has, for instance, the pi attributes, and we can get this. How about if I want to make something a square, mat dot square root, and the square root of 4, who can tell me the square root of 4?
2.
2, everybody knows that, right? Okay, but I make the question a bit difficult by asking you, what is the square root of 2? Oh yeah, JavaScript is so smart and it gave us this. What else can we get from console.log? Math.random. Math.random give us actually something like this. Have you seen this? So all the time actually it give us some random number. What is that random number? The random number 0 to 0.9999, but it will never be 1. It's just between 0.099. So how about then, based on this, if I ask you to generate a random number between 10 and 50, something like that. Another thing, console.log math.round. What is the rounding of 9.81? Tell me. What's the round up, like fair rounding? Okay.
10.
Yeah, it should be 10. But sometimes, how about if we be unfair? If we just make the floor, what would be the rounding for this? It just down. Okay, let's be also again unfair.
9.
Yes, 9, because it's floor, it's down, down. Okay, now let's also go to ceiling, okay? Seal. 3.14. What's the rounding of 3.14, guys? Tell me.
4. Oh, the rounding is 3.
Yeah, the rounding is 3, but in this case, ceiling means we are just, extending it. So this, we pushed it too much and it became 4. So sometimes we may want it to, we may round it down, and sometimes we may round it up. But rounding is usually a fair rounding. This round, a fair. Fair means if something is above 0.5, it will be rounded up. If it's below 0.5, it will be rounded down. This is a fair rounding. These guys are unfair. Yes. Yeah, I call this one is so generous. Yeah, this is very generous, and this is so mean. Yeah, just take your point away. Okay, good. And another more. I think these are the common. These are the common math objects you get. So if I want you to generate a random, maybe I may ask you now. So generate 7 random array of 7 random array of 7 random numbers. I think this would be very good if I send you to the breakout room, and if you just discuss about it or come up with also a solution, that would be good. How many people do we have? Okay, then I can just create 6. How much time do you want for this? Or do you need?
10, 15 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. Good. For some reason it was not recording. We missed some of the points, guys. Sorry for that. Yeah, I think we missed quite a lot of things. Anyway, we can't recover all that, but you didn't miss much. So let's recap. Today we talk about conditions. So to make a decision, you use a condition, and the condition usually take some condition that would be a comparison, usually going to be true or false, something like this. So if or else if, or we may use a switch, or maybe we can use a ternary operator. And yeah, this is not also recorded. I don't know. It was a good one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know which part it wasn't recorded or not, but it seems quite a lot. And then finally we talk about different functions, and by now you should be very familiar with functions. As you can see, we've been changing everything to function because functions are so easy to use. They will be reusable. It's easy to test also. As you can see, we just wrote beautiful functions everywhere. And then we talked about object and object methods, keys, whenever we are interested to get the keys of the object, the values, these entries to get an arrays of the key and the value. And this has own property also, a very good method to check if there is a key or not. If, for instance, hobbies, at the first time the person didn't have hobby, finally we gave him a hobby, and then this became true. So it's the Boolean value. Actually it returns either true or false. I think that is what we have covered today, but let's really plan for next week. And a reminder, I want you to read or do your part directly. We move on to higher order function, but before that we revise, maybe again revision of object, revision of loops, and we will talk about loops, for loop, for each, for of, for in. So I will introduce for each, for of, and for in. So in JavaScript we have actually for, while, do while, for each, for of, for in. And then after that we move into a higher order function, date object, and then maybe let's see. I think I want to know how do you rate our speed, guys? Are we too fast? Because that actually makes a difference for my speed.
Well, there is a lot to cover, of course. But so far it's good.
Yeah, so since now, since we handle the basic thing, so we may introduce also DOM. I usually teach DOM at the end, but it's also good to bring the DOM now. So next week we may have a kind of just a highlight of a DOM too, but it's not the final thing, because as you can see, the DOM is also, after this, actually in 30 days of, there is no learning much. It's just projects, DOM projects, all are just DOM projects. But it's also good to learn somehow the DOM. So we will start. Yeah, so that will help me much really better if you revise. Sorry for today, we missed some of the recording and it was a very important part now, I noticed, but what can we do? Yes, do you have any question?
Will you put these codes in GitHubs?
Of course, all the time, all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
All the time. For instance, today is code, as you can see, it's a revision condition function loops. What
Yes.
you do, you just get it there. So please, guys, and also to know the next lesson notes, you go there and you check this, and then you will be ready for next week. And of course, even before I forget that, I have to push it right now. So how much did you learn today? Let's rate your day today from 1 to 10, and let's call it a day and turn off the recording too.